evening. Thanks a lot for staying with us here at CNN News 18. You're watching The Right Stand with me, Ridhima Bhatnagar. Now, there is no denying the fact that the Indian rupee has been falling. With the rupee falling to a new low of 82 against the US dollar, which is a fall of 12% in the calendar year of 2022, the cool comfort that it is held up better than other currencies actually no longer holds. And anyone who understands the basics of economics knows the value for currency depreciating is because of both internal as well as external factors. Since little can be done about external factors, the key is to focus more on internal factors or the macroeconomic fundamentals. But the Aam Aadmi Party and Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, seem to have found a new solution to tackle this economic crisis. Now, according to the Aam Aadmi Party, the solution is simple. All you need to do is to print images of Hindu gods and goddesses like Lakshmi Ji and Ganesh Ji on currency notes along with that of Mahatma Gandhi, and that will bring prosperity to the country. The BJP on expected lines has now slammed this move, calling it a soft Hindutva push and a U-turn by the Aam Aadmi Party, which they believe has been seen as anti-Hindu. So is there any optimism with what the AAP is suggesting, or is it just appeasement politics?
भारतीय करेंसी के ऊपर एक तरफ गांधी जी की तस्वीर है, वो वैसे ही रहनी चाहिए, लेकिन दूसरी तरफ श्री गणेश जी की और श्री लक्ष्मी जी की तस्वीर भारतीय करेंसी के ऊपर लगाई जाए।
किस प्रकार से यू टर्न किया जाता है, आज ये हमारे सामने पूर्णतः उतर के आ रहा है। जनता उस वीडियो को देखे जिसमें केजरीवाल जी कह रहे थे कि मैं तो किसी भी कीमत पे उस राम मंदिर में आराधना करने, पूजा करने नहीं जाऊंगा।
ये तो एक फेस सेविंग प्रोग्राम है अरविंद केजरीवाल जी। चूंकि इन लोगों ने इतना गाली दिलवा दिया है अपने मंत्रियों से, अपने गुजरात प्रदेश अध्यक्ष से, हिंदू देवी देवताओं को, कि अब इनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि हम कौन सा चेहरा लेके जनता के बीच में जाएं।
मुझे हैरानी है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी भारत की करेंसी पर महालक्ष्मी जी और गणेश जी की तस्वीरें लगाने का विरोध कर रही है। मुझे बहुत आश्चर्य है।
हम तो आस्तिक लोग हैं, हम ये मानते हैं कि भगवान के आशीर्वाद के बिना बड़ा काम तो छोड़िए, कोई छोटा काम भी सफल नहीं हो सकता।
So what is the rationale that has been given by the Aam Aadmi Party, or why are they making such an argument? Let's break down those details. The first reasoning that has been given by the Aam Aadmi Party is this, that the country will prosper if the currency actually has images of god and goddesses like Lakshmi and Ganesh. The other rationale that has been given by the Aam Aadmi Party is that our efforts actually won't yield any results if the gods are not blessing us. The other reasoning that has been given by them is that we do need the Almighty's blessings to stabilize the economy, something that has actually rattled a lot of economists across the country. The other rationale that has been given, and a comparison has been drawn to what takes place in Indonesia. They're saying that when a Muslim nation has picture of Lord Ganesha on its currency, then why can't India? Why is this problematic? I'll just tell you about that in just a bit. The other reasoning that has been given by the Aam Aadmi Party, and as I said, the comparison that is being drawn by Indonesia, that if Indonesia can go forward and do such a thing, why can't India? But as I said, this is where the big problem lies. When you give the example of a nation like Indonesia, we need to see where its currency actually holds. Today, Indonesia's currency is one of the worst performing currencies. Let me give you some statistics. It fell to its lowest level against the dollar since April 2020. It fell by almost 3% by the end of August against a forceful dollar. It slid almost 2.5% in the month of September, which means it was its largest monthly fall this year. It has lost 9.3% against the dollar from December 2021 to October 2022. Thus, the larger question that we're going to take to our guest this evening is this: is the Aam Aadmi Party just cashing in on the Hindutva pitch because of state elections? Let me also now bring in our guest to take this discussion forward. We have the national spokesperson of the BJP, Sanju Verma. We have political analyst Varun Singh. We have spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Reena Gupta. And we also have author and activist Rahul Ishwar. Good to have all of you on the broadcast with us. Reena Gupta, I want to begin with you, and I'm not going to mince any words because this is something that has a lot of significance, whether political parties would want to believe it or not. As I said when I started the show, the economy is going through a turmoil. Yes, India has done a lot better vis-a-vis other currencies, but a lot still needs to be done. Are political parties like the Aam Aadmi Party today thinking that voters or citizens on the ground are that gullible that they will just believe absolutely anything? What is the rationale that is being given by the Aam Aadmi Party as a fix to the economy?
So Ridhima, as you correctly said, that the economy is in bad shape. We have high inflation, we have unemployment at 45 years high. The rupee is just sliding down. In the past 12 months itself, there's been a depreciation of 10%. So at this time, we need divine intervention. We need the gods to come and save us from the mismanagement and misgovernance of Bharatiya Janata Party. And that is the reason why the Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi has made this proposal. But Ridhima, what I don't understand is a party like Bharatiya Janata Party which says, "Hamare to kan mein Ram hai." Why are they opposing this proposal? We are saying we don't want any credit out of this. Why don't you go ahead and announce it? And if there is any political benefits, any gains to be made, you go ahead.
So Reena Gupta, with the logic that the Aam Aadmi Party is putting forward, with that rate, all economists in the country should take retirement. The central bank should shut down because we found a solution as far as the falling rupee and the failing economy is concerned. All I'm trying to understand is, and you're smarter than that, where is it going wrong? Are you actually taking the voters or citizens on the ground for granted that they will buy anything because it is going to be seen, quote unquote, as a Hindutva push?
What has the government and all the officers of the government who work on the economy, what have they been doing for the past 7-8 years? Why is it that even today 80 crore people are dependent on free ration? What is it all these smart people have been doing? When they have not managed to do anything, what we are saying is that it is time now where we need to pray to gods and goddesses to help us survive this mismanagement and misgovernance.
So rather than coming with concrete solutions of where we are going wrong with our economics, the Aam Aadmi Party literally is saying it's all Bhagwan Bharose because we can't do anything more than wait for divine intervention. Sanju Verma.
Ridhima, you did not let me complete.
Ridhima, she can't have a monologue. May I come in?
Sanju Verma.
Yes, thank you. Ridhima, I don't want to sound pompous, but I am an economist. I have been voted amongst the 30 best globally by the global think tank Asia Money. So I think I know a lot more about economics than some of the panelists who are trying to give a certificate to the Bharatiya Janata Party. First and foremost, let's be very clear, the economy is in fine fettle. We grew at 8.7% last year and we are likely to grow at anywhere between 6.8 to 7.5% in the next 1 year, despite Bloomberg saying and IMF saying that China, US, UK, Germany are on the brink of a recession. Point number one. Point number two, when it comes to Indonesia, I think it's a very fallacious comparison. The entire population of Indonesia is barely 28 crores, which is equal to the population of 2 states in India, Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat.
So that's why I wanted to give it to the Aam Aadmi Party that even if we take that comparison, that currency hasn't gone anywhere. So that comparison either way doesn't hold. What I'm essentially trying to understand is how should we see this soft Hindutva push by the Aam Aadmi Party, a party in the past that has been seen as anti-Hindu. It is the same Arvind Kejriwal who didn't want the construction as far as the Ram Mandir is concerned.
Ridhima, you did not interrupt the earlier panelist. Please, I request you.
I am letting you only respond, Sanju Verma.
Ridhima, can you stop heckling me? Let me complete. I don't need you to keep intervening. Let me finish.
But I'm
You
letting you only complete, Sanju Verma. I'm letting you only make the point.
Okay, can you stop talking? Can you stop talking for a bit? Let me make my point.
I am the anchor. I'll have to moderate the show, right?
Yeah, stop moderating when I'm in the midst of making a point. Now, please, can you stop interrupting? Let me make my point. Thank you so much. The most important point is this. That be it Germany, be it UK, be it the European Union, every single economic zone or country's currency has depreciated by anywhere between 15, 20, 27%. The pound has depreciated by 27% against the dollar this year alone. The Eurozone's currency has sunk to a 24-year low. Japanese yen has sunk to a 32-year low. So please don't single out the rupee. This is my request to Aam Aadmi Party. And coming to the Hindutva bit, do you remember, Ridhima, after the Ram Janmabhoomi judgment had already been announced by the Supreme Court, Arvind Kejriwal had the audacity to say this, and I'm quoting him ad verbatim. He said, मेरे राम कभी उस मंदिर में निवास नहीं कर सकते जो एक मस्जिद को तोड़कर बनाया गया हो. So he was actually running foul of even the Supreme Court verdict. And then Manish Sisodia, I remember after the Ram Janmabhoomi verdict said, मंदिर की जगह यहाँ यूनिवर्सिटी बना देते तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहता. यूनिवर्सिटी ना बनाकर मंदिर बनाने से क्या राम राज्य वापस आ जाएगा? And this is the same Manish Sisodia today who is accused #1 in the Delhi excise liquor scam. And what did Sanjay Singh say about Hindus? Mile mulayam kanshi Ram, hawa mein ud gaye Jai Shri Ram.
Okay.
This is the manner in which senior Aam Aadmi Party leaders have mocked Hindus and Hindutva. We don't.
Sanju, you'll appreciate. I've let you made your point now. Can I continue at least moderating the show now? But Reena, I want to bring you back in the conversation. This is where it becomes problematic for even the voters on the ground. I want to go back to a time when Arvind Kejriwal was sworn in for the first time. That speech was actually seen as a game changer, that will he actually bring change? At that time, he had invoked gods of all religions because he said that I take pride in the fact that we have diversity and we represent various religions in this country. Somewhere down the line, where has that changed? Is it simply because the Aam Aadmi Party today realizes that the state elections which are coming, which is Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh, is not going to turn around for them unless this Hindutva push is seen by the Aam Aadmi Party?
Ridhima, first of all, you must not interrupt me. Please allow me to complete my thought. So I want to first respond to some of the wrong statements that Sanju Verma was making. First of all, the per capita income of UK and Germany and France and America is nowhere compared to the per capita income of India. So please do not compare these economies in the same line. Point number one.
Can you define per capita income? You do not even know the definition of per capita income. Do you know what is the definition of per capita income? Do you know the difference between GDP and GNP? Do you know the difference between Aadhaar card and ration card?
Sanju Verma, let the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson make her point, and we'll appreciate if this
I
is...
challenge you. Tell me the difference between GDP
let her
and
make her
GNP.
point. Let her make a point.
GDP and GNP के बीच का difference मालूम नहीं. यहाँ पर आकर इकोनॉमी पर भाषण.
Sanju Verma, let's keep this civil. You expected uninterrupted time. I'm assuming the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson also wants the same. Go ahead.
So let me tell Sanju Verma that she has been rated best economist by some third-rated magazine. I used to work...
Asia Money is a global think tank, madam. Asia Money is a global think tank. Which people like you wouldn't know. Asia Money is a global think tank.
Okay.
कुछ पढ़ लिख कर आया करो डिबेट पर.
Okay.
कुछ पढ़ लिख कर डिबेट पर आया
Sanju
करो.
Verma,
Read
I
about Asia
unfortunately
Money.
will have to ask you to not interrupt because I want Reena Gupta to make her point. I have other panelists waiting as well. Reena, go ahead.
Ridhima, you'll have to mute her. This is not fair. I must get a chance to respond. Just because she's from the ruling party does not mean that she can, just keep interrupting. So for Sanju Verma's information, I've had a long career at the World Bank and I've not been rated the best economist by some third-rate magazine. So now coming back to the economy in this country, if the economy is doing so well, why is it that 80 crore population of this country is dependent on free ration of the government?
Okay, no, Reena, answer that specific question. Why are we seeing a change in stance by the Aam Aadmi Party? Is it only because they fear they're losing ground in the state elections? Answer that.
There is no change in stance, Ridhima. We are still saying that we are still talking about schools, we are still talking about hospitals, we are still talking about roads, we are still talking about having access to basic services for every citizen of this country, and this is how we define our Ram Rajya. हमारे राम राज्य में कोई भूखा नहीं रहेगा, हमारे राम राज्य में सबको शिक्षा मिलेगी, हमारे राम राज्य में सबको अस्पताल मिलेगा। अगर भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने 27 साल में कुछ किया होता तो आज गुजरात में राम राज्य होता। एक पार्टी 27 साल तक एक स्टेट में काम करे तब भी उस स्टेट में इतनी बुरी हालत है, ना स्कूल है, ना अस्पताल है, ना सड़कें हैं। यही कारण है कि आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी is so rattled. So we have not changed our stand. We are still talking about schools and hospitals and roads, but we are saying at the same time, also talking about the fact that we need the blessings of gods and goddesses if we need to move this country out of this economic doldrum which the Bharatiya Janata Party's corruption has put this country into.
Varun, I want to bring you in the conversation, and you and Rahul Ishwar have been patiently waiting. I'm sorry I couldn't come to you earlier. But Varun, what I'm trying to understand, this is a question, as I said, at the cost of sounding repetitive, voters and citizens are asking these questions quite loudly. That there has been a clear shift as far as the comments that we've seen from various leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party. The BJP is saying you don't have to go back a lot in time, just see what happened on Diwali. There was a cracker ban in place which the BJP is seeing as anti-Hindu. Harish Khurana of the Delhi BJP has also put out certain advertisements of newspapers which has Arvind Kejriwal wishing Diwali to people at large. They are saying even if your Diwali greeting doesn't have images of god and goddesses like Lakshmi and Ganesh, what are you talking about fixing the economy? Do you buy that argument?
You know, Ridhima, first of all, I give you free liberty to interrupt me and moderate this panel because you're the moderator. And secondly, let me tell you, I was expecting better from an IRS officer who's now the chief minister of a state, that he would know the rules and regulations what are passed in the parliament. This is not the first time that something like this sort of replacing an image or bringing in more images in the currency note has come up. But in October 2010, the then government had set up a committee, the RBI had set up a committee to deliberate whether new images can be brought in. And I'm reading from the answer to the reply that late Finance Minister Arun Jaitley gave in the House when this question was raised. I would just read one line. The committee, after due consideration, decided that no other personality could better represent the ethos of India than Mahatma Gandhi, and hence it was decided that no other image will be brought in. So expecting an IRS to know these basic things was one of the basic facts that I think everyone was expecting. But no, as a Hindu, I feel good that a party which till now was not so Hindu, an atheist who has recently converted into a devout Hindu, is now asking for an image to be brought in of Ganesha and Lakshmi. But as a Hindu who's learned and educated, I don't think these things work to bring the economy back on track. The economy is not derailed when compared to other nations. The economy is fine, doing good. But here it is clear. See, the moment you see elections coming in immaterial which political party it is, they run to temples, they run to see and seek blessings of God. Aam Aadmi Party is a political party and Arvind Kejriwal is its head. Obviously, he is also trying to seek in the same thing. He has realized that his leaders have made blunders in Gujarat, and the kind of statements, I do not want to even repeat what his state president had even said earlier in Gujarat. Those things are not working in favor of Aam Aadmi Party. And obviously, as a political party which wants to win elections, he is choosing something. जैसे मुलायम सिंह यादव जी के बेटे अखिलेश जी को कृष्ण दिखाई दे रहे थे. All of a sudden we see Arvind Kejriwal seeing gods and goddesses and he wants them back. So it's a clear political and election winning agenda, I think so, right now.
But my only concern is कि जनता इससे ज़्यादा smart है. And Rahul, I want to bring you in here. Do you feel that this is really unfortunate that we're seeing the religion card being used by various political parties when it becomes convenient to them? The soundbite that Sanju Verma was quoting is there for all of us to see. Arvind Kejriwal had said exactly this. Mera Ram kisi ki masjid todkar nahi bas sakta. But today we are seeing that same Aam Aadmi Party have this soft Hindutva push. Is it now becoming convenient for political parties to use this card when elections are nearing? And more importantly, Rahul, are citizens actually buying this?
Ma'am, the reality of politics everywhere is of two spectrums. One, a right identity-oriented spectrum, and on the left, there is a left economic spectrum. In India, usually the winning formula is left-wing economics plus right-wing identity flashing, or a right-wing identity flashing plus Gandhian socialism, followed by BJP and the other parties. So this has been a winning formula. Arvind Kejriwal, as we all know, is a populist. Who has a center-left economic plan, who is inclusive in economics. At the same point of time, he would like to recite Hanuman Chalisa, he would like to invoke Hindu gods, because he knows that is the majority. He has been a very craftful politician. So, this is the winning formula. What AAP really believes will fetch the votes. On one hand, they will, it's something like Ram and Roti. Usually regarding BJP, the analysts will say BJP usually follows a Ram and Roti policy. So these are the various combinations that people are trying. And second, I think what Arvind Kejriwal said is symbolic, not substantial. Nobody seriously believes by invoking any god or any deity to bring economics, but rather it was a cultural flashing point to substantiate the point of the Hindu majority vote bank that, see, I am also along with you. Maybe some bad comments in the past by ministers, other people might have invoked this, but it is a matter of fact that in Indonesia and the other nations, or even in America, in God we trust, such kind of divinity or sacredness is attributed to wealth. So, as a suggestion, you can consider it. As we all know, it is not practical. You already have a...
Sanju Verma, I want you to respond to the criticism that's now coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party, and they're saying this, that till now the BJP had been using the Hindutva push or the Hindutva card when it was convenient to them. Today, if we're beating them at their own game, why is the BJP rattled? They're saying the BJP stands exposed today when they object the wanting of printing of images of gods and goddesses.
Okay. Riddhima, I just want to lay a couple of facts for your audience. First and foremost, last year when the local body elections in Gujarat were held, out of 572 seats, BJP won 486. That is a strike rate of 85%. The Aam Aadmi Party got 27 seats, which is a strike rate of 4.7%. I am surprised, actually I am amused. A party with a strike rate of 4.7% says that a party with a winning rate of 85% is rattled. No, we are not rattled. Then again in October 2021, you had the Gandhinagar local body polls. Out of 44 seats, BJP won 41 seats. That is a strike rate of more than 93%. Do you know how many seats Aam Aadmi Party won? It won a princely 1 seat. That translates into a pathetic strike rate of 2.2%. But I know economics is not something which is easily understood by the likes of Reena Gupta or her party bosses. And madam, this debate is not about Sanju Verma, but Asia Money rankings are given by Fortune 500 companies. Hence, next time before blabbering, go and read Wikipedia and then come and debate with me. And I want to tell you one more thing, Riddhima.
No, but
you look at Rajendra Pal Gautam. Look at just 10 seconds. Look at Rajendra Pal Gautam. I was on your channel and I remember that an Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson was there and the person refused to apologize despite Rajendra Pal Gautam saying कि हम गणेश में विश्वास नहीं रखते, हम गौरी माता में विश्वास नहीं रखते, हम दुर्गा माता में विश्वास नहीं रखते, हिंदू धर्म is equal to devil incarnate. Did Arvind Kejriwal, apart from removing him or whether he resigned, that is besides the point, has he been expelled from the Aam Aadmi Party? A man openly abuses our gods and goddesses. Arvind Kejriwal ने क्या राजेंद्र पाल गौतम को expel किया है? The answer is no. Arvind Kejriwal is a Kattar Hindutvavadi on odd days, on even days, he becomes anti-Hindu. He's playing
Reena, respond to the
Jekyll
allegations
and
that the
Mr.
BJP, it's not just the BJP today, even the Congress, the Shiv Sena, they've all hit out at you saying, one, this is something that is unimaginable, that you're putting a solution to the failing economy with printing images of God and goddesses. And more importantly, the question that is being raised is, has Aam Aadmi Party forgotten its original identity today?
Ridhima, we've not forgotten our identity. We are still talking about good schools, good hospitals, good roads, and we are going to seek votes in the name of the good work that we have done in Delhi and Punjab and the good work that we plan to do in Gujarat. But
how many
Ridhima,
hospitals have you set up in Delhi? How many schools have you set up in Delhi?
Okay.
How many colleges did you set up in
Okay,
Delhi?
Sanju Verma, I am running out of time. I want to give the final words to Reena. Reena, make your point. Make your point.
Name one hospital that you
One
set
sec,
up in
Sanju
Delhi.
Verma, let her make her point. I am running out of
One
time as well.
hospital that
Reena,
you set up in Delhi. I challenge you.
Sanju Verma,
I
you made
challenge
your
you to
point.
name
It was
one hospital.
uninterrupted. Sanju Verma, let's have the
No.
same courtesy to the other panelists as well. Reena, make your point. I'm running out of time.
Ridhima, the point is that BJP has misgoverned Gujarat for 27 years. Now they are realizing that they are losing Gujarat, so they want to tell us who's a better Hindu and what Hinduism is all about. But Ridhima, the question that I want to ask them is that a party which talks about Ram has even made corruption and has made siphoned off money in the construction of Ram Mandir temple. So a party like that, how can they come on TV now and question my Hinduism against their Hinduism? I don't need Sanju Verma or the Bharatiya Janata Party to tell me what is a good Hindu. I know what is a good Hindu, and I know what Ram Raj is. And Ram Raj is a state where people have access to good health, good education, people have enough food to eat, there is employment. And this is all that we are talking about. This is what we've done in Delhi and this is what we're going to do in Gujarat.
Absolutely. Reena, nobody was questioning your faith or your astha. And as Rahul Ishwar was also saying, the intent might be right. The only question is it actually a solution to the depleting economy? That question is still out in the open. Unfortunately, I've completely run out of time. I'd like to thank all our guests. Sanju Verma, I've completely run out of time. I appreciate all our guests joining us this evening. We are slipping into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with another debate.
Tell you, I am not for a minute saying that you should give precedence to religion over merit. Of course, yes, when someone needs to be elected to any government offices, any office of public importance, of course the merit should be the predominant deciding factor. But we need to understand and we need to see what this incumbent government does. I mean, this is the government that is following extreme right-wing political ideology, where I mean their minister left, right, and center indulges in hate speeches targeting a particular community.
Look, one second. That's a separate debate from that's a separate debate from today's debate topic is very simple. It's taking off from what Mr. Chidambaram, Mr. Tharoor said, that minority candidates, even if they are meritorious in this country, cannot aspire to high office because the politics is that of majoritarianism. So let me ask Guru Prakash Paswan of the BJP the two specific points that Kapil Madan said. Number one, you don't have a single Muslim member of parliament and you have 300 of them, and you don't have any Muslims in the Union Council of Ministers as of right now. Please respond.
Zaka, I would like to remind your viewers that the founding members of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Sikandar Bakht Sahab was one of the founding members of the Bharatiya Janata Party. For the first time in our history, Zaka, we have a Pasmanda Muslim, a Muslim from a backward and the marginalized community, Danish Rizwan Ansari, in the Uttar Pradesh cabinet. Don't they deserve representation? Don't they deserve justice? If you are backward or marginalized, do the only elite among the Muslim deserve to be represented? I ask my friend from the Congress party. Ghulam Ali ji was sent to Rajya Sabha. Who is Mr. Ghulam Ali? Probably my friends don't know. Mr. Ghulam Ali is a Gujar, a scheduled tribe Muslim from Jammu and Kashmir. Maybe Mehbooba Mufti ji is not aware of him. Maybe Mehbooba Mufti ji is not aware because he is a scheduled tribe. He is a Gujar. He is a Muslim. The point is precisely this. Be it Mr. Tharoor, be it Mehbooba Mufti ji, they just want to do the minority appeasement politics. That has been the fundamental problem.
So how are you making that distinction? No, one second, Guru. You are saying you've sent Muslim candidates to the Rajya Sabha. You are saying you've got Muslim candidates as ministers in the UP government. Why then couldn't you find a single capable enough Muslim candidate, obviously one who can win an election, to field in the Lok Sabha? Or why couldn't, in the UP election that happened earlier this year, couldn't you find a single candidate, a Muslim candidate, who could win an assembly seat? Or is that stated policy that you believe that that is appeasement, therefore you will not give tickets just because somebody happens to be a Muslim?
No, Zaka, that is entirely not the case. If there is any candidate who is a winnable candidate, BJP will already in the history, you see, in Bihar elections there were Muslim candidates. In the multiple other state elections you have had Muslim candidates. That is not the point. But the point which I am trying to convey is precisely this. When predominantly Muslim seats like Rampur and Azamgarh, these are predominantly Muslim seats. They have voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Who has benefited the abolition of triple talaq? Who has benefited the abrogation of Article 370? The beneficiaries of Jan Dhan Yojana, 47 crore bank accounts nationally. You are suggesting that there are no Muslims in it? This is preposterous to suggest.
Okay.
Zaka. Our only point is that you
one is welfare schemes. One second.
Zaka.
I think again we're confusing two issues. One is welfare schemes. Is there any discrimination in welfare schemes? No, I don't think that's the case the opposition is making. The opposition is making a case for meritorious minority candidates. Can they aspire for high office from within the BJP? Anyway, let me get Adnan Malik. You know, the problem with this minority candidates can't aspire for the top job argument is that Rishi Sunak's extraordinary political journey has been reduced to the fact that he's a minority candidate. That's the greatest, gravest, most unfair thing that you can say to him and of his career, because look at the schools he went to. He's gone to Oxford, he's gone to Stanford, he had a shining career as an investment banker, gave all that up, came to England at the age of 35 to run for Member of Parliament, won his first election. And in 7 years in public life, he's gone from MP to PM. I mean, if this is not a story of merit, then I don't know what it is.
Yes, very, very true that Rishi Sunak is totally become Prime Minister of UK is on the basis of merit. Due to his good work as a finance minister, he did, at the time of Corona, he did give subsidies to the industries of UK as well as to the local peoples. He became very famous at the time of as a finance minister, and he became the Prime Minister on the basis of merit due to the Lisa failed to run the government within 45 days. He is incapable of managing the economy of this Britain. That is why he resigned from 45.
Welcome back. Thanks a lot for staying with us. We're now going to talk to you about the big story that we're tracking this evening. There has been a big development in the Coimbatore blast case. The Tamil Nadu government today has decided to recommend the transfer of the case to the NIA or the National Investigation Agency. Remember, this in the backdrop of a cylinder explosion in a car that happened near the Kottai Easwaram temple on Sunday. 5 people have been arrested so far, and the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act of the UAPA was also invoked against the 5 accused. Now, the Coimbatore police had identified the arrested accused as Mohammad Dala, age 25, Mohammad Azruddin, age 25, Mohammad Riaz, age 27, Firoz Ismail, age 27, and Mohammad Nawaz Islam, again age 27, all hailing from Coimbatore district. It later emerged that Mubin, the man who died in this blast, was already examined by the National Investigation Agency way back in 2019 for suspected ties to a radical network related to various activities. The BJP, remember, had already alleged that there was a cover-up by the state government resulting in delay of action. So the question is there a lot more than what meets the eye?
case of a suicide bomber because he makes his intention clear. The way he was driving that vehicle, the nature of the incident, everything points out to the fact that this guy is a very radicalized youth.
We're now going to bring you some very crucial details of what top intel sources are telling us here at CNN News 18 or why it looks like a failed terror attack. Look at these details very carefully. The plot was to conduct a Fedayeen-style attack. What we're also picking up is the attack planned to spread havoc during the festival of Deepavali. The terror suspect Mubin was drilled in 2019 by the NIA, as I already pointed out. A lot is being said about his last WhatsApp status message as well. I'll talk to you about that in just a bit. 78 kgs of explosive material was found at Mubin's home. What was it doing there? That's the question that's being raised by the BJP. The plot to replicate a 2019 Easter Sunday attack in Sri Lanka. A lot of parallels being drawn to that. A lot of parallels being drawn to the 1998 bomb blast as well because of the usage of cars and similar explosives. Mubin met ISIS terrorist Azharuddin in prison. What was the meeting all about? Azharuddin has been linked to the Easter attack planner Zaran Hashim as well. So a larger nexus at play. One suspect linked to Al-Umar terrorist Basha as well. Now remember, Basha was behind the 1998 Coimbatore blast, which remember at that point had killed almost 50 people. The cops are now calling this a cylinder blast, not a suicide attack. CCTV visuals are also showing how explosives were actually loaded in that car. And all of this happening at the time of Deepavali and outside a temple. The timing cannot be missed. There is clear proof that ISIS cells are active in the state of Tamil Nadu. Evidence of efforts by state police to play down the attack. That's the allegation that's coming in from the BJP as well. Let me bring in our newsmaker this evening. We have the Tamil Nadu BJP State President K. Annamalai now joining us this evening. Sir, we appreciate you taking our time and joining us here on this edition of The Right Stand. I want to understand from you, on day one itself, you had said there is a lot more than what meets the eye. How were you so convinced on day one itself?
Madam, when the blast happened, immediately a lot of our Karyakartas and everybody were there in the morning. They have observed nails. They have observed nails and ball bearings in that area. And then only we knew it is something sinister. It is not a simple thing. When they were our party functionaries were reporting, the local public were reporting. When the state police called that as a cylinder blast, it was not only worrying, it was very shameful, madam. When there is a ball bearing inside, when there is a nail inside, a classic case of an explosive thing, how can you call that as a cylinder attack? Then we put pressure on the government with a statement saying, please be open. This is a terror incident. The government started to demean us. We waited for 48 hours. When we did not have any other recourse, when the government still called that as a cylinder blast, then we had to call a major press conference yesterday, release out some details and say when all those things are happening, when you have seized explosives in the home more than 40 kg, when you're not disclosing, you've arrested 5 people but not booked them under UAPA Act, which is the Terrorist Act, your Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. You call all this, it's a shameful, you're trying to cheat the Tamil Nadu public. It is a very serious issue that is happening in Coimbatore. Why do you want to do it? Then the police were forced to book an UAPA, then transferred to NIM. The whole thing looked suspicious from moment one. Because how did nails and ball bearings come there when it is a mere cylinder blast?
I also want to talk to you about what you had spoken about Mubin, the one who actually died in this blast, and the last WhatsApp message of him that was actually seen. Are you convinced this was a Fedayeen attack?
Madam, this message apparently, he has apparently changed his status of the WhatsApp message 2 days before. And the wordings is very clear. In the wording, he clearly mentions that the news about my death reaches you, forgive my mistake, hide my shortcoming, participate in my Janaasa, which is funeral, and pray for me. So this is a very clear statement where he is inviting people to his funeral. And the state police hiding that also. We were never interested to go and harm any investigation. 48 hours, when you are refusing to book UAPA, initially we called a terror attack, waited for 2 full days before calling this as a suicide attack.
Sure.
The police still not responding. We didn't have a choice, madam. When it is very clear, the message, the way it was framed, everything looked suspicious because this guy was investigated in 2019 by the NIA during the Easter bombing attack also.
Correct.
Coimbatore, that area which was instrumental in the 1998 Coimbatore bomb blast where more than 60 people died. The area in which the bomb originated, the car originated, everything points to a very telltale sign that this time it is much more deeper than what the police were talking about.
I want to understand, how are you seeing the move by the state government today? Today, the state government has finally said that we want to make a recommendation for the case to be given over to the NIA. Do you think it's coming too late in the day?
Ma'am, firstly, I'm happy that the case, we are happy, Tamil Nadu people, the case is going to NIA because it's a professional agency. They can go to the root of this case, find out the real accused, the modules which might be active in Tamil Nadu, which is still might be dormant also. We want everybody to come out. Madam, for a kind information, madam, 3 months back, one person was picked up in E-Road. He was plotting a Paris-style truck attack, unheard of Tamil Nadu. The central agencies have picked up. He has brought a truck. He wanted to take the truck in a Ganapati procession and kill people. But due to the sensitivity nature of that incident, we never disclosed it out.
Okay.
In the last month, when the PFI got banned, in 32 places, the functionaries of BJP's houses, properties were bombed, including BJP office, the office in which I am sitting and talking to you now, ma'am. We had central office in Chennai.
Okay.
This got bombed five months before by a person. So Tamil Nadu, in the last 16 months, we are seeing this kind of telltale signs across the state. So that is why we are very worried. It is becoming a haven for the anti-nationals, whereby they are operating at will. We are more worried about that. We hope NIA, ma'am, for your kind information, madam, we had a NIA in Tamil Nadu. For 2 years, it was not given a police station status. We have written 3 letters in the last 16 months saying, please give a police station status. In 2019, when NIA picked up somebody, the FIR was registered in Kochi.
Okay.
Because only Kochi NIA had an FIR.
Sure.
Only last week, CM has given permission for the police station status because they're very clear, nothing resembling a central government should come inside the state.
You know, what I want to talk to you specifically is about the manner in which this blast happened, the timing of it all. It happens a day before Diwali, it happens outside a temple. Do you think there was a deliberate attempt to stoke communal passions?
Of course, ma'am, there was a deliberate attempt to stoke communal passions. In fact, the day the blast got reported at 4 a.m., when we got to know at 6 a.m. only, we told our party functionaries very clearly nobody should speak.
Okay.
Except the state president and the designated spokesperson. Nobody will speak anything so that an unrest gets created in Coimbatore, which is ripe for a communal tension. We stopped our people from reacting, though it was very tense in that morning. But having said it, madam, a day before Deepavali, a car, I don't think temple was the attack, ma'am. They want to get into a shopping area. Since the police checkpost starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, they want to reach that area before 9 and park the car. So luckily there was a speed breaker outside the temple. When the car was running over, the cylinder head came out and car got stopped. So the plan was to go deep inside the city, probably target a shopping area where people are more crowded a day before Deepavali. So the plot is very sinister. So we hope NIA will get to the root of that issue.
You're saying there was a larger sinister plot at play. So are you then worried about a pattern that is emerging from Tamil Nadu because of the various ISIS links that are also emerging from the state?
Yes, madam. Because Kerala, the neighboring state, had sent a lot of people to ISIS when ISIS was declaring a state. From Tamil Nadu also, a handful of people have gone to Turkey, Syria to join ISIS. So it became powder cake. So Easter bombing, somehow the link came to Tamil Nadu, Palakkad, they picked up. Then the police was trying to control. Now continuously for the last few months, we are seeing central agencies picking up somebody who wanted to do a truck style attack like Paris in E-Road. E-Road is a place you never heard communal tension. Though in the Congo region, Salem is a place you never heard a communal tension because you are picking up radicalized youth from those areas. At one end, the state government, no agent come into the state. You cannot have NIA station. The state will manage. When you don't deny that access also, everything is coming out now, madam.
Lastly, sir, before I let you go, I want to understand the DMK has taken a couple of days to react. Why do you think that has happened?
It's very shameful, ma'am. When DMK jumps the gun and they go to reputed national televisions like you and give all kinds of statement about Hindi, this, that. So from yesterday, such a serious nature, they couldn't answer any of the allegations we raised yesterday. And there is a total ban of spokesperson going to national media like you and to the state media. Nobody is coming. Nobody is talking, which clearly shows they've got a lot of things to hide. They're trying to hide. I think in the NIA investigation, not only they should investigate who did it, they should also investigate the investigation that happened in the 48 hours. How did the investigation happen? Was there a deliberate omission? Was there a deliberate way to sidestep the investigation? Even that should be taken care by the NIA. That is our new request.
Okay. Kiran Malai, always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for taking our time and joining us here on CNN News 18. So the question that we're asking this evening is this: as far as the Coimbatore terror plot is concerned, was there a cover-up? Let me also now bring in our guest to take this discussion forward. We have the Vice President, Tamil Nadu of the BJP, Narayan Tirupati. From the DMK, we have their spokesperson, Salem Dharanidharan, and former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, Vikram Singh. Good to have all of you on the broadcast with us. Salem, I want to begin the conversation with you. The BJP from day one has been saying that there is a lot more than what meets the eye. They are saying there was a deliberate, desperate attempt in form of a cover-up by the state government. Why?
No. See, BJP is doing cheap politics. BJP Tamil Nadu president is doing cheap politics. BJP Tamil Nadu president is not the investigating officer. He's not even in the union government's organizations such as NIA or the IP. The TN police is not hiding from anybody. The job of intelligence is to not leak information. Whatever investigation we do should remain within us. That has happened, and that was communicated with the NIA and IP. When NIA investigation will proceed, it will be clearly shown that Tamil Nadu government has acted with alacrity. In fact, we have acted with alacrity. It's only because of the efficient law and order situation in Tamil Nadu and proper checking that no untoward incident happened. The extremists could not leak the target because of the TN police checking. Immediately after the incident, TN DGP visited the spot with senior officials, and for example, for any crime, the first 24 hours is very important. True. Immediately after the incident, TN police viewed the CCTV camera, and under secrecy, only because we maintained secrecy, we were able to view the camera and make sure that 5 people were arrested. If you had leaked the information, those people would have gone elsewhere.
No, but the BJP is asking this. They're saying, why isn't the DMK coming on record and calling this a failed terror attack? Because that's exactly what it was. And the examples that I gave when I started the show of the parallels that are being drawn to the Easter bombings or even the 1998 blast, and the evidence that has been found on the ground in form of nails and others. So is the DMK going to go on record and call this a failed terror attack is the question that the BJP is asking.
No. See, the question is, why should we tell to the BJP opposition party in Tamil Nadu with less than 5% vote share, or to the news media? Our job is to communicate with the NIA or the IB or the relevant organization. If we have not done it, then they will come back and tell us, right? It's not our job to go and tell the media or anyone else. Proper work has been done. With 6 teams were formed. Within 12 hours, the houses were raided and people were arrested. So no state government in Indian history has acted with this much agility and presence of mind. And I will also go further and say there is some rumors that foreign hands were also involved in this. If that is the case, then it's clear intelligence failure with the union government. R and IB, RAW and IB is their duty to provide intelligence. Has RAW and IB come and told that we have provided intelligence information? No, they have not said. Pulwama happened. Did Prime Minister Modi, Honorable Prime Minister Modi resign? In 2020 Delhi riot, it was very clear that it was Indian government's intelligence failure. Right?
Narayan Tirupati responds to the criticism that's coming in from the DMK, and he's making a valid point. He's saying, when the investigation is in such a nascent stage, why should we put out all the information? And look, we already acted, 5 people have been arrested, and the investigation is now taking its own course. Why should we disclose all the information to the BJP?
See, what all about the incident, my president, Mr. Annamalai, has very clearly said. Now, there is only one question I want to ask the DMK, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Mr. Stalin today has ordered recommending the transfer of Coimbatore incident to NIA. But in his letter or the order, it is mentioned, it is very surprising that the entire statement of the government mentions that this terror incident as a car cylinder blast, that's all. The absence of words like terrorism or an act of terror, terrorist act at any place, it is absent. So it has very clearly exposed that the Tamil Nadu government is treating this incident as an ordinary incident of a cylinder blast in the car. So the questions, what then after that in the letter also, they say, my question is that why should you transfer an ordinary cylinder blast case to an NIA? Why so? What is the need to strengthen Coimbatore district security in lieu of this just a cylinder blast? If the Tamil Nadu government considered it to be a case of an ordinary car cylinder blast, then why and how the state government speculates a possibility of, as my friend Dharanidharan said, a cross-state dimensions or international links to the blast? What is the need to immediately set up 3 police stations in Coimbatore for a simple cylinder burst? Why was it decided to create a special force for an ordinary cylinder burst? Why
Mr. Dharanidharan, would you want to take that before I bring in Vikram Singh as well? That on one hand, the state government is saying this is just a cylinder blast. On the other hand, you're increasing vigil on the ground and you also want the... One second, Narayan Tirupati. And on the other hand, you also want the case to be shifted to the NIA, which means the state government is also realizing there has been an intelligence failure at the state level as well.
Ma'am, if there was an intelligence failure, how do you think these 5 people would have been arrested, immediately investigated, and UAP would have been filed? There was no intelligence failure. Intelligence job is to maintain secrecy.
Not your police.
If you have not, it does not mean that we have not done the proper work, right? It's baffling that an IPS officer, ex-IPS officer could not understand SOP of a terrorist act. I'm not even saying that investigation will say what it is, but across the world, information in such situations is kept secret. Even the High Court and Supreme Courts have urged the state governments to keep secrecy. If the supposed extremists are caught, it's only because of the DMK government. We are doing our job. Unnecessarily, BJP is doing politics and helping this terrorist to escape. That is the problem. They should keep quiet, cooperate with the state government.
You are not allowed me to finish.
Okay. Narayan Tirupati, make your point.
Yeah. See, all these things we need to understand that the government, the Tamil Nadu government, the DMK does not want to show to the world that this is an act of terror. Why it is missing? See, suppose in case that as Mr. Annamalai had said, this incident has not happened, what would have happened? This car had reached some other place in the morning, crowded place before the Diwali day. What would have happened? And that was the plot. That is what we are saying. And they are not bothered. Why the DMK President Mr. Stalin has not condemned so far? What is the intention of the government? Why it is covering up? That is what we are asking. You are not bothered about the people of Tamil Nadu. You are not bothered about the lives of the people. That is what we are asking.
Vikram Singh, I want to understand from the... One sec. Vikram Singh has been patiently waiting. Let me bring in him. Vikram Singh, what I want to understand is what was essentially being seen as a cylinder blast, but with the details that are now emerging of the man who has died, who was already interrogated by the NIA in 2019, and all the links that are emerging of those 5 who've been arrested, is it fair to call this a failed terror attack?
Ridhima, with my experience, I can tell you this is nothing but a failed terrorist attack. All the ingredients are shaking from the rooftops. The recovery of 75 kilograms of explosives from the house of the deceased Mubin, the shrapnels, the marbles, the iron nails, the aluminium nails, the ball bearings, they all go to indicate that they were weapons of massive offense and mass destruction and collateral damage. That it did not happen is a matter of tremendous good luck for everybody. And these actions and these incidents, communal harmony and national security are best left aside, and politics does not penetrate into these sensitive issues. There is business known as right to know and need to know. Of course, there cannot be any premature disclosures when it comes to such sensitive investigation. But yes, the people have a right to know that there is a terrorist attack with international ramifications. Azharuddin was not a child. He was interrogated by the NIA in 2019.
True.
And if he was hobnobbing with Mubin, then it was something that he should have been flagged. His movement should have been flagged. He should have been in a constant watch. Well, it is a matter of satisfaction that the government has chosen to hand over the investigation to the NIA. But the fact of the matter is that it is a failed terrorist attack, because there's a world of difference between an ordinary cylinder blast and such a blast wherein it was almost a killing machine that has been rigged up by a potential terrorist. Look what his last words were. They are indicative of the fact that he was a Fidain, and he had programmed and chosen his words so that he becomes immortal and for posterity. That did not happen for him. But yes, the people have a right to know what international ramifications are there and where they are living and what precautions they need to take.
Selim, two things that I want to understand from you, and this is what the BJP is asking. One, they're asking that you are the party in power, you have the state government, so why was there complete silence over the last 2 days? More importantly, there is a big allegation that is being made by K. Annamalai, who is the BJP president as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. He is saying the temple wasn't even the main target. It was a shopping area close to the temple, and if that went through, God forbid, we don't know how many casualties would have followed.
See, I think the ex-IPS officer should be a novel writer. You can't speak on illusion, right? Listen, you can't speak on illusion. No, listen, I'm not saying.
Shame on you people to talk like this.
You do not know what was the target. How do you know what was the target? How do you know what was the target? How can he know? How does he know? Is he part of the Union government intelligence?
Have some responsible talk.
One second, Narayan Tirupati. Okay, so make your point. Why the silence by the state government?
How does he know?
And did we miss the original target, which was actually an area nearby?
Only the DMK people don't
Okay, Narayan Tirupati, let him make his point.
No, the DMK
I'm saying,
don't
how does he
understand.
know? You see, the intelligence of the Union government, he was just a middle level officer, ex-officer in Karnataka state. Nothing to do with the intelligence. Has he ever worked with the intelligence? No. How does he know? No, I'm not saying yes or denying. I'm saying we do not know. Let the investigative officers do their job. Like the DGP sir who spoke earlier said, these are matters of national security.
The DGP said
we should not do politics with it.
There was no terror angle to
Only
this
because
case.
of politics we are discussing this.
Do you mean
Let the state government and the union government respective organizations do the job. This is cheap politics done by Tamil Nadu. BJP
You know, Narayan Tirupati, what I want to
because he
understand
wants to
is,
create
between
communal
this blame
divide,
game,
the
aren't we
peaceful
doing a
state of
disservice to the
Tamil Nadu.
investigation?
Because he thinks when there is communal divide, communal harmony disturbed, he will have few chances. His vote percentage will increase from 2 to 3.
Narayan Tirupati, I'm running out of time. I want to understand this from you. While the DMK is saying we've done everything in our part, we were ready with all sort of proof, we wanted to take it slow, we didn't want to jump the gun either, arrests have already been made, and now we're saying transfer it to the NIA. I'm trying to understand, between this political back and forth, aren't we doing a disservice to the investigation?
See, we have to understand this first. The people of Tamil Nadu should have been alerted, because it was the day previous day to Diwali. So the people should have known this. So you have totally hidden everything from the people of Tamil Nadu. The DGP said that there is no terror angle to this issue. The first day, why you have not done that? 5 people, the CCTV has very clearly exposed 5 people carrying explosives. You have definitely, you should have told that. The 3 days have gone. After 72 hours, you are transferring to NIA. You should have done this on 21st, 23rd itself. This is what we have been saying. You have detained more than another 8%. That is what Mr. Annamalai had said.
Narayan Tirupati, but this is what the DMK is now saying, that yes, you wanted the case to be transferred to the NIA. That's exactly the recommendation that has been made by the state government today. And they're saying, on our part, we've already made some arrests. The investigation is already taking place. And unfortunately, we'll have to leave that conversation there. I appreciate all our guests taking our time and joining us on this edition of The Right Stand. With that, it's a wrap from my side. Brass Tacks with Zaka Jacob is up next.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. The Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is a rather novel way of dealing with the falling rupee. He's made a suggestion to the Indian government and to the Prime Minister to have the images of Goddess Lakshmi and God Ganesha, along with the images of Mahatma Gandhi, on the Indian currency notes. His justification is that a country like Indonesia, which has less than 5% of its population as Hindu, has done so with its currency notes having the images of Goddess Lakshmi and God Ganesha. Of course, Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth, but the fact remains that all currency, and particularly in Asia, the Indonesian rupiah and the Indian rupee have been doing badly against the dollar. Both have fallen 9 and 10% respectively since the beginning of this year. Now, the question is, will having pictures of gods and goddesses on currency notes actually flip the economic story of India? Or is this just Arvind Kejriwal's attempt to try and beat the BJP by outflanking it from the right? Remember, all of this is happening before the Gujarat elections, where the AAP claims it's making a serious attempt to give an alternative to the electorate of Gujarat between 35-40 years of having to choose between the BJP and the Congress. So, is this Mr. Kejriwal's attempt to try and outflank the BJP from the right? Because he believes in a state like Gujarat, you can't beat it from the left.
अगर भारतीय करेंसी के ऊपर एक तरफ गांधी जी की तस्वीर है वो एज इट इज़ रहे, दूसरी तरफ अगर लक्ष्मी जी की और गणेश जी की तस्वीर होगी तो इससे पूरे देश को उनका आशीर्वाद मिलेगा.
That's the advice put forward by AAP convener and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal to reverse the fall of the rupee. He has appealed to the Prime Minister to print new currency with the images of Goddess Lakshmi and Lord Ganesh on the notes.
बहुत सारे एफर्ट्स करने की ज़रूरत है, लेकिन वो एफर्ट्स तब फलीभूत होते हैं जब देवी देवताओं का आशीर्वाद होता है.
Kejriwal cited the example of Indonesia, which has Lord Ganesh's image printed on the 20,000 rupiah note.
अगर इंडोनेशिया कर सकता है, इंडोनेशिया ने भी श्री गणेश जी को चुना, तो हम भी कर सकते हैं, हमारे देश में भी हो सकता है. अभी जो नोट्स हैं वो एज इट इज़ रहें, लेकिन जो हर महीने फ्रेश नोट छपते हैं, वो फ्रेश नोट्स के ऊपर ये शुरुआत की जा सकती है.
The BJP accused Kejriwal of appeasement politics in the run-up to elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh.
उस वीडियो को देखे जिसमें केजरीवाल जी कह रहे थे कि मैं तो किसी भी कीमत पे उस राम मंदिर में आराधना करने, पूजा करने नहीं जाऊंगा, क्योंकि उस राम मंदिर में पूजा जो है वो भगवान प्राप्त नहीं करेंगे. अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने यू टर्न लिया है. ये वही अरविंद केजरीवाल जी है जिनके बहुत सारे मीम, जिनके बहुत सारे हिंदू विरोधी फोटो प्रसिद्ध हैं उनके ट्वीट में.
जो इंसान कभी कहता था, मेरी नानी कहती है अयोध्या में राम मंदिर नहीं बनना चाहिए, वहाँ अस्पताल बनना चाहिए, मेरा राम लाला वहाँ नहीं रहेगा. जो कभी स्वास्तिक पवित्र निशान के पीछे झाड़ू वाली फोटो लगाकर दौड़ा रहा था स्वास्तिक के पवित्र निशान को, दीपावली पे अगर कोई गणेश जी को, लक्ष्मी जी की पूजा करेगा, पटाखे चलाएगा, इनको मानेगा तो जेल में डाल दूंगा.